Welcome, Facebook. This is Adam Ashba, realtor and president of Ashmont Realty. And welcome to Ashmont Live, exclusively on Facebook, where we discuss finance, real estate for the common person. And I try to make it as simple as possible. But today, we're going to be discussing September's Central Ohio Housing Report, and want to give a lot of great news about Central Ohio and the market that we're in, not only in Ohio, but nationally as well. But first, let's get started. And all right, let's talk about third quarter. The third quarter, we saw one of the largest amounts of homes sold since 2006. Now, we've talked about over the last 10 years, inventory has, slid significantly. And, it's funny because in February, if you remember, we had the least amount of homes listed for sale ever in our MLS in Central Ohio. But third quarter, as a lot of you know who follow Ashmont Live, is you've seen a huge push and a huge amount of sales. Most amount of sales we've seen in the last 15 years, really before the housing crisis. And third quarter of 2021 in Central Ohio, we've had the most amount of sales since 2006. Over 12,000 homes were added to the market, which is 13% higher than it was last year. So we're really trending on a good note. And Columbus, for those who are not in the Midwest, is growing significantly. We've seen huge double-digit appreciation on real estate. We're going to talk about that here in a second. But excellent. Excellent news. Real estate's not going anywhere for a significant period of time, at least in our neck of the woods. All right, the average sale price of a home was 8.5%, increased 8.5% to $301,000. Okay, the gain from last year at this time, from September 2020 to September of 21, was 12.5%. Okay, so if you bought a house in September of last year, it's worth about 12% more, give or take, depending on the area that you're in, than it was last year or at this time. Now, respectively, the average sale price of the home is actually up to 13.5% to 13% for the entire year. So depending on when you purchased your home, we had, I can't remember if it was May or June it was February. February, we had a 17% increase year over year. And then it's kind of fluctuated anywhere from 12 to 17. But as we round out through September, 3 months more to go, we're looking at a 13% respectively, give or take, depending on what area of the Central Ohio you live, some higher, some lower, that you're looking at about a 13% rate of return. So any investors out there, that's something you want to think about, because a lot of clients that we had, last year, they were talking about overpaying, which you're paying top dollar for any real estate that, comes your way. But if you bought a house last year for $100,000 or a condo, you're not buying a house at that price, but a condo maybe, but that condo might be worth $115 today. And that doesn't mean you put a penny into it. So not a bad rate of return. It beats a money market account in your local bank. So one thing that we don't cover in the Central Ohio Housing Report, which I think this is interesting, especially for a realtor as well. But a lot of clients who want to purchase homes have been being beat out on homes a significant amount of time, and some of those offers were cash. And it's hard to believe that like a $400,000 house, someone would pay cash for that, but it happens enough to talk about this point. So I'm going to share this tidbit for you. This year in 2021, the amount of homes that have sold for cash is 20%. So 20% of all the houses that have sold in Central Ohio is 20% of them have sold for cash and were not a bank loan used. And I think that's kind of interesting. Now I have a good friend that's in the mortgage business in Florida. Shout out to Greg Braun at Braun Mortgage Group. Anyone looking for a loan in Florida, give them a call. BraunMortgageGroup.com. But, there it's almost flip-flopped. Now, he's in the Sarasota area on the Gulf, and there's a lot of empty nesters. So people are cashing out their condos and then, taking that cash and buying, condos and things for cash in that area. But it's almost flip-flop. So that's interesting. So 20% of all homes in Central Ohio was sold in cash. All right. Now that is actually, a lot less than it was 10 years ago as a statistic. But think about it. 10 years ago, housing prices were significantly lower. I mean, 50% lower in some areas. So a $300,000 house today might have only been worth $150,000. So the amount of people who had that type of cash available to them, was more. There was a better opportunity that someone could come up with $150,000 cash instead of $300,000. Okay. All right. I'm going to share this days on market. Days on market have been, as we all know, houses do not last long. And I'm going to share this with you guys. This is just showing days on market currently. All right. As we all know, houses, it doesn't matter where you live or how long you've been paying attention to the real estate market. We all know that the housing, homes sell very quickly. So I always like to discuss that and see how trends are each month. So in the month of December, remember an average house, give or takes about $300,000 in our market. So a house that is $0 to $350,000 are on market an average of 12 days. And actually that's up a little bit. I think it was in single digits, 9 days, I think 2 months ago. But let's, be prepared. If you find a house under 350, it's probably going to be gone in a week and a half. Okay. House 350 to $500,000 is 15 days. A house, I think this has been steady all year, but again, it's remarkable to me that, a house that's pushing that $700,000 range or anything over $1 million, they're selling in less than a month. The luxury market used to take months to sell a house. I mean, $1 million home selling on average of 26 days to me is, it's just surprising. I don't know. I think it's just amazing how that's the case. So, but that concludes Central Ohio Housing Report for September of 2021. And look forward to sharing next month's and seeing how we're pacing out of the pandemic and the real estate prices. But we, as you can see, we're 3/4 away through 2021, and the real estate market is strong as ever. compared to what we were in 06, which was kind of the peak pinnacle of real estate, at least in Central Ohio. So this is Adam Ashba, realtor and president of Ashmont Realty, and we will see everybody next month. All right. Good night, everybody.
Ask not what you can do for Ashmont Realty, but what can Ashmont really do for you.